You only question it because you don't have it. That's really honestly what comes down to it. But nobody wants to admit that. But I'm here to tell you that's really why you question it. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Herb G back at it again with another video. This is day 2 of my solo mining journey. Haven't hit a block yet, but we're gonna keep on trucking because one day we will. You know what I mean? And I hope you are here for when that day comes. Yesterday I talked about a problem with Bitcoin. I believe, at least in my opinion, the number one problem of Bitcoin. I'll link that in the card right here. But I just wanted to touch on just a second problem that's really not necessarily a problem when it comes to Bitcoin, but just a frame of mind depending on the person. I get a whole slew of responses whenever I bring up Bitcoin, but the second most, I would say, response that I get when I mention Bitcoin to somebody is that, oh, but it always goes down. And I have to take a second, and after I'm done getting pissed off for that second or two, I have to give grace, because I have to realize that people, not everybody comes up as far as being raised with a growth mindset. Most people are raised with a lack mindset, and let's just be real, let's just be honest. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but only poor people think about the negative, because it's easier to be negative than positive. It's easier to break down and tear down a building versus build it up, versus construct the architecture and come up with the schematics and the plans to make something. It's just I'm not going to say human nature, but it's just the way the humans are, the way we are, right? I don't usually, react, or I don't usually try to make an argument, but I'll say it here, I guess, if anybody's listening. And my argument to that will be, well, how did we get here? Do you realize, or can you even understand how much money had to be invested into Bitcoin for these last 16 years for us to get to $100,000? And we're at a $2 trillion market cap. I mean, it's in the numbers. So yeah, $2 trillion had to be invested into this asset in order for us to get a $100,000 price. But people just don't think like that. Money is not taught in school, whether that's elementary, middle, high school, or college, unless you get an economic background, an economic degree. And even in economics, the fundamentals of money are taught the wrong way, which is the Keynesian economics, the Keynesian way, which they should be the Austrian way of economics. I don't need to go into that. You don't need to. I mean, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, go ahead, do your due diligence and do your research on the Keynesian versus Austrian economics. Nobody really, honestly, if you really ask 10 out of 10 people on the street, I'm pretty sure maybe one of them knows about money. One of them knows anything about the way money really is created out of thin air. All 9 people will just say, oh, it comes from the government. That's pretty much the basis of what people think money is. It's just something that the government uses that they can print at will. And it's crazy that they think that way, because they don't realize that that's how we get in debt in the first place. And that doesn't help our society as people. But like I said, rabbit hole, don't need to go down that way. So that's basically the point that I wanted to get across. When you say that, oh, but it goes down in value, you're missing the point. You're actually missing the long-term value that your money could have when you invest in Bitcoin. This is really the reason why I would suggest people to buy a miner versus buying Bitcoin. It's always going to be a debate. It's always going to be a kickback or a pushback. It's always going to be something when you tell people to buy Bitcoin. We got, like, I want to say a good 4 to 8 years. I would definitely say 2030, when all these all these responses will be null and void because Bitcoin be $1 million and you can't question that kind of an asset. You buy a miner, plug it in, and just wait. You know what I mean? No debating, no arguing. You just wait. But with that said, guys, appreciate you watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I've come up with a different slogan other than Bitcoin's the future, so you might as well make it a present. I've literally done that since I'm giving people solo miners now. But it's going to be that our money is already digital. It's already digital. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, you name it, right? So it's software, okay? It's pretty much software. You can digitally interact with it online. You can buy things with it digitally. You update your phone about, once every 3 months? You update your PS4s, your game consoles, you update the apps on your TV. You mostly update anything that's digital. Okay? The money system is a digital software that needs an update. That's the only thing in the whole entire world that hasn't been updated yet. In the 236 years, 200 and however many years that the U.S. has been in power, and 112 years that the Federal Reserve has been created. We have never updated our money. Bitcoin is the update. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video, man. Later.